I get told all the time, like, oh my God, you finished that first draft so fast. And I was like, did I? I don't know, because, the first time you do something, you don't really have an expectation. But here is what I figured out. I feel like the reason why, yes, I finished the first draft so fast is because, in all actuality, it feels like it was a really detailed outline, like a 52,000 word outline. Hi, my name is Kayla. I am writing my debut novel, which is a young adult dystopian fantasy based on my experience in growing up in poverty. And now that I'm going through this editing process and I read the book as a whole and I'm diving deeper into so many details of the story, I'm seeing all of these things that need to be fleshed out, need to be added. And it's been so much fun to build that and to grow that. I think one of my favorite things that I've done is really enhance the magic system, because I'm like, the way that I wrote it was so basic. I don't want everybody to have the same magical powers, and how boring. And she goes to an academy. It's literally called The Academy, but she goes in book 2. So I hadn't really thought it out, but I realized there's so many things that I want to have planned out so that when people read book 1, that there's little Easter eggs and things like that. Ooh, I remember that one sentence from book 1, and that's why this makes so much sense in book 2. And so now, as I've gone through this editing process, I'm just diving deeper into the history of all of my characters, the character arcs for the entire trilogy, the history of the magic system and why the magic system is the way it is, and the lore that's around that, the academy and how they teach and who is there, and all of these things, and even deeper into not even tertiary characters, but characters that are community characters, that are people that she runs into, and what is their background and how do they relate, and do they come back in book 3, and are they in the prequel, and all of these things. And so that has been so much fun, but I feel like I haven't actually done that much writing and editing, because I'm just going through this huge brainstorm process that almost feels bigger than the initial brainstorm process. And I think that it's going to teach me so much about writing the next book and the next times, where I can, one, in the series I'll have already done a lot of this work, but where I can think this deeply before I even start writing the initial book. But then also maybe I think I might like this process where I write this really hashed out outline. But one of the things that I realized is that the way this book ends, I didn't, when I was doing this outline, really pay that much attention to timeline, the actual calendar of time, January, February, March, the 15th, the 17th, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so it's been bothering me. It's been bothering me in my brain. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out all my stuff and figure out the actual timeline of my book. And I think that it's going to span, and today I want to decide, is it going to be multiple months? Is it going to be a whole year? Is it going to be half a year? Whatever. But I realized that at the end of my book, there's a very specific date that needs to happen. And then other things maybe I could stick her birthday in there and stuff like that. So that's what I want to go through today. is actually a really interesting practice to do. I think the thing that I found to be really interesting is, one, just casually sparsing out what I've written. It's already longer than I thought it would be, but also what I found that's really interesting is, and I think that it makes sense, is I feel like the action-packed part of her like deciding the resolution and taking action on that is, even though it's like a thick bunch of pages, it's a short amount of time. So it kind of makes me think about like in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, where it's like there's a thick amount of pages of them like going through the trap door, getting through all the things, and you know, finding Voldemort and the mirror and the stone inside the mirror, and all of that is actually like one night, but it's a lot of pages. So that made me feel good right here, where it's like she's going through so much emotional upheaval. And what that made me realize is down here, and I already knew that I wanted to like beef up the debate, is like, I need to add to this. Like, this is not a lot, but this is time. And I think one of the things that I really want to do is I want to show her learning the magic more. And I think that I know that better now because I have worked on building all the details of the magic system and stuff. So I think that's what I want to do. I had originally put, like, I was just going to use my birthday as the main character's birthday, which is in June. But when I think about the storyline and what I want to happen, which is, so I'll tell you about that. So with the magic that she ends up having, because the magic is used their hands, I was thinking that there needs to be something that they wield their magic with, that helps funnel their magic, makes their magic easier to access, etc., etc. Like when you look in tons of magical stories, they have that. Wizards in Harry Potter have wands. If you think about, there's, what's the ball that the girl uses in Fourth Wing and things, the conduit, like a conduit for the magic. So one of the things that I was thinking is that metal would be that. And so this ring actually is my great-great-grandma's ring, which my mom gave me. And growing up, there have been almost no family heirlooms that my family has. Like growing up in poverty is just not something you do. You don't like pass things down, and or a lot of things were gotten rid of, or there weren't a lot of nice things, and or a lot of things were pawned or sold for money, like in reality in my family. But this is actually something that my mom gave me, and no matter how my mom and my relationship was or how I thought about my family, I've worn this forever. Now, the only reason why I have this ring is because I'm the only one that it could fit. At least that's what I was told when it was given to me, that it would fit me, therefore I could have it. But I want this to be the gift that Judy gets from her mom. And even for me, when I was growing up, I hated having hand-me-down things as gifts. And I remember like being so mad. There was one birthday where I got a ton of like secondhand things, like probably like 6 items. And my sister got, that same year, my sister for her birthday got one brand new item. And I remember being so mad that she got like a brand new item and I had to have a hand-me-down item. And it just like so hurt and so less than because of that. And so I want Judy's reaction to kind of be this. So simultaneously, she's like upset that she's getting like this hand-me-down old ring for her birthday that like doesn't even matter, about a grandma she doesn't even know or something like that. But when she puts it on, I want her to like feel something. I want her to feel like that magic, that warmth within her. And that's kind of like the nod to later she'll learn when she goes to the academy that metal is a conduit. Or actually, she won't learn it then. She will learn it right here, that it's a conduit. So I kind of think her birthday needs to be in March. But maybe what I should do, actually what I'm gonna do right now, is look up astrological symbols that would make the most sense. Let's tell chat all about my character and ask him what should be her sign. Let me get my computer. Okay. There, let's get my notes. Where's my notebook? Oh. Wasn't there for her, and let's see. Okay. Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. Adventurous, risky, risk-taking, scrappy, fiercely independent, known for optimism even in tough circumstances, but can struggle with feeling rootless or like they don't belong. So November, so that could be after this. The next book could start with a birthday. Well, or I could start with a birthday down there. November through December. Aquarius, independent, strong-minded, but often feels like an outsider looking in, wants community yet struggles to trust it, sees systems like the poverty and withering as unjust and wants to break them, would emphasize her rebel changemaker arc. Aries, scrappy, resilient, risk-taking, fiery, can come across as untrusting or combative, but it comes from survival instincts. Fears being overlooked or powerless, would emphasize her courage and grit. When is the spring solstice? March 20th. If her birthday was around spring, that would be the series. The whole book series is called The Girl Who Was Born Twice. And the whole point is that, surprise, now you know, but the whole point is that she grew up the way she did and then basically is like rebirthed into another thing. So I'm trying to put that's why she hatches a phoenix bird. I'm trying to put in as many like reborn second things as possible. So her birthday could be around that. Inside Sagittarius, there's also a winter solstice. I'm really liking this. Okay, a couple things. I'm really liking the idea of making her be a Sagittarius. Let's just Google, what is a Sagittarius known to be like? Honest, adventurous, and freedom-loving, always seeking knowledge and new experiences. They are intellectual, optimistic, and generous with a great sense of humor. Key traits include direct communication, desire for exploration and travel, independent spirit that can make them seem unreliable to some, even though they're fiercely loyal, honest and direct, adventurous, optimistic and generous, independent, philosophical, intellectual prowess, inspirational, adaptable. Ooh, wow, that sounds good. Okay, what about, I think the other one that I liked was an Aries. Aries are dynamic individuals who exude a unique mix of confidence and enthusiasm with a vibrant, energetic nature that inspires those around them. Although often seen as impulsive, Aries are incredibly loyal friends who pride themselves upon their positivity and bravery. So either her birthday, I want it to be separate. I think she's going to be an Aries because I want her birthday to be separate of Christmas. Here's the thing. So if she's a Sagittarius, then her birthday would be around Christmas. The thing that would fit into the story with that would be just like Sagittarius, that's who she is personality-wise, it sounds like. But so I want you to tell me, when should her birthday be? These are what I'm thinking through. These are my options. Like really, truly put in the comments what you think and we will pick it together. So if her birthday's in December, it will be near Christmas. I personally love Christmas, and so I'm just so excited to write in like Christmas and winter scenes in this book. Like that's one of the things that I love about like reading Harry Potter and things like that is those scenes. And that's why people love to watch Harry Potter during Christmas, because of their Christmas movies, right? That's how they count. And so if her birthday is in December, if she's a Sagittarius and it's Christmas, I would be mixing birthday and Christmas together. One of the benefits for that, for the story, would be it would be really strong for her to be like upset that they're so close together because because they don't have money. So it's like because they can't afford anything, she always gets a birthday and Christmas present at the same time. If her birthday is in March though, right now it fits already in my timeline where her mom could give her the ring as the gift with what is already kind of put out like this. So if I choose December, I would have to kind of rearrange the timeline a little bit, which isn't bad. That's fine. Like what I could do is just like stretch this story out to go and be a whole year and go like October. What do you think about that? Okay, this was so much fun. right now I'm going to freeze like this, and I'm going to say that this is going to be my timeline for now. I'm going to clean this up. But then I want to know, like, really, truly, what do you think? Should she be a Sagittarius? Should she be an Aries? When should her birthday be? And also, we need to pick a number. So regardless of December, well, it's got to be around the solstice. So it's either got to be the 20th, the 21st, or 22nd. So comment below, is it March 20th, 21st, or 22nd? Or is it December 20th, 21st, and 22nd? I just had this thought. Is it dumb to make a book start in January, like top of the year, beginning of the story? Also, would it be richer is if her birthday was in December, we started the book in October, there would be like multiple things that kind of like culminate into the catalyst, like getting the ring and also hatching the egg could really happen at like the exact same time. And then that would be like a really rich like scene of events. Would that be too much? Would that be enough? Would that make the story feel like fuller? I don't know, lots to think about. But this is exactly why I feel like people are asking me all the time, like, how long until your book is out? When can I pre-order and all of these things? And I just feel like I don't know how to answer that question. I wrote that first draft so quickly, and if I were to follow that same amount of time, I feel like the second draft would be like almost done and beyond my beta readers already. But I've only edited up to like chapter 7 or 8 right now out of what is currently 23 chapters, and I know that there's going to end up being more. Like I said, I have to beef out what might be April and May, and what I really don't want to do is sacrifice for speed. And I've talked about this before on the channel, where like my MO is to take fast action and get things done and get them to completion without being perfect. But I realize that in writing this book, it's a different animal. It's not like an Instagram post. It's not a Substack. It's not a vlog where it's like this. I feel like almost like this is more like my one shot. And I don't need to be in a hurry. It's not like all of a sudden people are going to quit reading books or not need my story. And so I really at first felt like, oh yeah, 2026, hopefully I'll have a publisher and I'll be, have a publishing plan. But I've also seen that some people who've gotten publishing deals aren't going to be published until 2027, and it's 2025 right now. So really the truth is, like, I don't know how long it will take me to even do this edit. And I've really decided that I don't want to rush the process. And I wasn't trying to rush the process, but I think in the excitement, it made me inherently just kind of rush the process. It made me want to speed it up. It made me want to get it done. But I think even more so, what I'm really, really desiring is to like have a really good fucking book with like Easter eggs and storylines and magic that people can get lost in. Like, I just read the first chapter out loud to the world. And I read it out loud here at an open mic kind of event in Brooklyn and live streamed it on my Substack for all my paid subscribers. I got a response after that. I was just like, first, let me just say, after reading that out loud, I'm so glad I did it, because talk about vulnerability hangover. Immediately I was like, oh, this book obviously sucks. And I got scared for no reason at all. But afterwards, I got so many compliments. People came up and told me things. So I was like, okay, that's just my brain like talking shit to itself. But somebody who live streamed it messaged me and said that they could see themselves in the main character. And I was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. And then I let that sink in. And I was like, wait, I just got goosebumps. I was like, wait, Kayla, that is your whole point for writing this book. The whole point of writing this story is for people who have not felt seen, who felt alone in their growing up, who felt like things were tough and they were alone in how hard it was, aka how I felt growing up. It's for them to have a mirror. It's for them to be seen. It's for them to feel part of something and not alone. Because I think that would have changed so much about my childhood if I would have felt that way, if I didn't feel so alone and so separate, if I felt heard and understood. Like, I did not feel understood by anyone. Like, I literally did not start feeling understood by people until I became a life coach and I learned how the brain worked. Like, so that was me in my 30s, y'all. Like, that's fucking crazy. And so I don't want that for other people. So to hear that one person who listened in felt seen by this, like, what that showed me is that my book is going to do its purpose. And so I don't want to rush it. I don't want to make it go faster. I want this to be everything I want it to create it to be. And I feel like that's disappointing because I know people are so excited, and I'm excited by people being excited, but I have to continue to like temper down my excitement and my pace so that it can be everything that I dreamed it would be and want it to be, and not publish it and then be like, dang, I wish I would have. And so I do know that there is a point with any art where you got to allow it to be, like they say, when it's 80% done, it's done. But obviously, like, I'm not even close to that yet. And so we'll deal with that, I'm sure, together when we get there. But it was so much fun to brainstorm with you. Please comment below. Do you think that Judy is an Aries baby or Sagittarius baby? Do you think that she has a December 21, 22, or 20th birthday? Do you think that she has a March 20th, 21st, or 22nd birthday? Comment below. Let me know. Whatever you pick, we'll write it in.